everything. Something about your love, something about your love changes everything, changes everything. Something about your love, something about your love changes everything, changes everything. Something about your love, something about your love changes everything, changes everything. Something about your love, something about your love changes every. You turn my morning into dancing. 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 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. Oh, there's something about your love, something about your love changes everything in my body. Oh, something about your love, something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love, something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love, something about your love changes everything, changes everything. Something about your love, something about your love changes everything. Something about your love, something about your love changes everything, changes everything. Something about your love, something about your love changes everything, changes everything. Something about your love, something about your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. 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 Something about your love, something about your love changes everything.
Rooted men, good morning and happy and blessed Wednesday morning. Pastor Tom, Firmly Rooted Ministries, and we're digging into Proverbs chapter 23, actually looking at the last 4 or 5 verses of that section. It's a single topic. It's about kingdom of this world addiction. And so we're going to touch base on that. It looks like we're not out on Rumble this morning. So we'll have to look into that. Ken Gooch, good morning, fellow brothers in arms. Chuck B, good morning from Rooted Men. Blessings to you all. Chris Connolly says, good morning, gentlemen. Bert Reggiani, the same. Good morning, gentlemen. Great to have you on board. let's go to the text, Proverbs chapter 23. He's talking about wine. He's talking about, but I want you to catch the imagery as we talk about things in the kingdom of this world that we can be addicted to. It could be a rich young ruler who's addicted to his wealth and his income that he believes is buying him all that he needs in securities or something. It can be in sexuality. It can be in drugs. It can be in alcohol. Satan always takes something in the kingdom of this world, warps it, twists it into almost an idol, and we got to have it. And simultaneously, we have no clue what damage it's doing to us. Listen to his description. It is so graphic. Who has a woe? Who has a sorrow? Who has strife? Who has complaints? Who has needless bruises? Who has bloodshot eyes? Who is someone like everyone else that has woes, sorrows, strife, complaints, bruises, but aren't getting any recourse or help in the direction that they're going? What does he say? The answer to all those questions? Those who linger over wine, who go to sample bowls of mixed wine. Do not gaze at wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it goes down smoothly, because in the end it bites like a snake and poisons like a viper. Watch out for the abuses of things that God has made that are good. Watch out for the moment when no matter what, you've got to have it, and simultaneously it isn't making anything better in your life. It's actually making things worse. The very thing that you feel you have to have is the very thing that is robbing you from what you really need. He goes on to describe, gets even more graphic. Listen to what he says. Your eyes will see strange sights. Your mind will imagine confusing things. And then listen to this. You will be like one sleeping on the high seas, boats bouncing back and forth, boat the ship is just running and moving and jostling. And here you are lying on top of the rigging, lying on top of all the steel hooks, and you're lying on top of the ropes, and you're lying on top of the pulleys. They hit me, you will say, but I'm not hurt. They beat me, but I do not feel it. When will I wake up? So I can have another drink. You see it? Solomon is using, or the writer of this section is using some amazing, beautiful imagery. How we have to check our spirit all the time and check ourselves all the time as to, is anything in my life, anything in the kingdom of this world that I'm rooted into and won't let go, and I've got to have that, and God, you can't have that. That is a place where we're going to end up getting beat to a smithereens and only want to have another opportunity to do the same thing again. Have that drink, have that relationship, have that whatever. Satan's a liar. And all we can do is bite the hook. And if we bite the hook, then he draws us away from God and towards the rigging, beating us to death on the ship. And we don't feel the pain. And so we just long for that next drink so that we can get rid of our woes and our sorrows. So don't make it just about alcohol. Make it about anything in the kingdom of this world that you actually think it's protecting you, or it's going to give you peace or joy. All good and perfect gifts come from above. We got to keep our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith. We have to look up to those noble things, because this world has nothing to offer but an addicted beating. Thinking that we're getting what we need, what we think we need, is beating the life out of us. All right. I'll leave it at that, guys. I hope that this devotion was a blessing to you. Anybody else? Come on. I don't see it. All right. Blessings on your day. Make it a firmly rooted day, and may someone see Jesus in us today. Peace.